But you want all this pimping you can't afford. Perform like a punk, but wanna win his reward. Some suckers give you points, but bitch, you never scored. If you ain't paying pimping, then bitch, you getting ignored. Okay, I'm so sick of these.
I tell you, man, one thing a pimp loves to see is a hoe in action, man. I'm talking about every move, every action they take is just a work of art. It truly is poetry in motion, right? And it's not something that every bitch could do. I used to think once upon a time that any bitch could be a hoe. Now, any bitch could be introduced in the game. Any bitch could partake in the game. But I'm kind of, especially nowadays, just seeing the type of nonsense that goes on in the game among these bitches, man. I'm kind of convinced at this point that not everybody can be a hoe. It takes a certain type of bitch to be a hoe, a certain type of woman to be a hoe. And like I said, man, I just love seeing hoeing in action, right? And not every bitch that you see down on the track is an actual hoe. They all in the game, they all got uniforms on, but not everybody is playing the game accordingly. And beyond that, not everybody is an overachiever. See, all hoes is overachievers, man. All hoes go above and beyond in this game. I'm talking about hoes, hoes that fuck with pimping, hoes that's on a mission. And with that said, man, I just want to break down a few things to y'all that real hoes do not do. A few things that you ain't gonna never see a real hoe at work doing. Number one, the motherfucking headphones, man. I wish I could just snap my finger and make it some type of way where bitches on the track just can't have headphones, or bitches on the carpet, or just, bitches at work just can't have headphones. That shit is just so terrible. Real hoes don't be outside working with headphones in their ear. Earbuds, AirPods, Beats by Dre, whatever the fuck. Any type of device that prevents you from being able to hear beyond what's in your ear. Hoes don't do that type of shit. Hoes don't wear earphones to the track. Hoes don't wear earphones on the carpet. They don't wear earphones to work. One of the main reasons why a hoe ain't gonna do that is because, hoes play offense just like they play defense, and you can't properly play defense with earphones in your ear. It makes you vulnerable. You can't hear everything that's going on in your environment, so you don't know what might be coming at you. You need all six senses, Some people got five senses, but hoes got six senses, and a hoe need all six senses when she's at work. And one of those senses is the sense of hearing, the sense of sound. She need to be able to hear what's going on in her environment, right? So them earphones is gonna make the bitch weak and vulnerable, and a motherfucker might be able to creep up on her. Some type of melee might be taking place and she can't really hear what's going on. Somebody down the street might be shooting, or you never know what could be happening that, will make you vulnerable and not all the way on point when you got earphones in. And then another thing, a trick might be trying to holler at a bitch, Bitch might not always see who's trying to get at her. But if a bitch is facing this way and the trick is back there saying, hey, what's going on? Can I talk to you? Woo, woo, woo. A bitch who's using all six senses, the sense of sound, she could hear everything. She could turn around and see what's going on. But if a bitch got, NBA YoungBoy in her ears, which that ain't got nothing to do with no hoeing. At least if you're gonna be on a track listening to some music, let it be some, some music to get you in the spirit of hoeing. But nah, these bitches be listening to NBA YoungBoy and Mozzie and NLE Chopper and Blueface and all these type of dudes. No knock to them, but we talking about hoeing right now. So, but anyway, bitch listening to all that type of shit. Trick might be trying to get at her over here. Trick might be trying to get at her over there. Trick might be trying to get at her over there, and she can't hear none of this shit. She can't hear none of the money talking to her because it's all money talking to her. And she can't hear none of the money talking to her because she got these damn earphones in her ears that's preventing her from being the best hoe that she could possibly be. So again, one thing a real hoe is never gonna do is be outside, whether it's on a track or on the carpet or wherever, with earphones in her motherfucking ear. You know what I mean? Another thing that's just it's just disgusting to see, and it's so disappointing and sad to see, is when bitches just be in a phone all motherfucking day. Or these bitches nowadays don't even be down all motherfucking day. But throughout the duration of their time down, they just spend 85% of that time in their phone, right? Me myself, I got a different outlook on things, man. You know, I don't even care for hoes taking smartphones to the track, you know, but that's a whole nother conversation, right? But whatever type of device a bitch got on the track, she shouldn't be spending the majority of her time in her phone. You know, that phone shouldn't have her mind and her attention so consumed that, again, she's not paying attention to what's going on around her. And on top of that, this phone is more of a priority to her than getting the biggest trap that she could possibly get. A lot of these bitches just spend too much time in their phone, and then when tricks pull up on them, a real hoe, she not gonna be in her phone like that, right? So when a trick pull up on a real hoe, her full undivided attention is gonna be on this trick. Her attention ain't gonna be divided between a trick in the phone or a trick in her hoe partners or a trick and whatever. Her full undivided attention is gonna be on this trick. And a lot of these bitches, they just spend too much damn time in their phone. You dig? So again, one thing a hoe ain't gonna do is spend too much time in her phone, because she know that's a distraction. And she know a distraction can mean that she ain't gonna get the biggest trap that she could possibly get. You know, so a real hoe ain't gonna spend too much time in that damn phone. You know, another thing that's just, it's just such an eyesore to the motherfucking game, you dig, is coming to the track looking like whatever. This is something that a real hoe is, again, never gonna do. Because a real hoe understands, you know, via the pimping, that every action that you take and every decision that you make is a piece of communication. So, you know, when you take time to look your best, when you do everything within your power to look your best and have your best presentation when you out there, you know, endeavoring to break tricks, you're communicating that you're serious about what you're doing. You communicating to the game that you're a professional. You know, you communicating to the game that you out here to win and be the best and be the most expensive bitch out here. You know, so all that low balling shit, yeah, you're gonna have low ballers no matter where you go. It's always gonna be a trick trying to haggle a bitch and trying to low ball a bitch and you know, get her to sell herself short, get her to compromise with them on her prices, right? You're gonna have that no matter where you go. But it's gonna be less likely with a bitch whose presentation is all the way on point and is, like I said, looking like a professional and being the best that she could possibly be. You dig? It's just something about, you know, that presentation. Like I said, it communicates all the right things to these tricks and to the game in general, that you serious about what you do. You dig? You can't go to any other job looking just any old kind of way. You can't go to a regular 9 to 5 just coming in there dressed, you know, like whatever, with your pajamas on or some furry flip flops and shit like that. No, when you working a 9 to 5, you got to go to that job looking a certain type of way. You know, it's no different from the professional. You know, the professional gonna come to work, you know, on point, top notch. So again, another thing that a hoe is never gonna do is just come to work looking like whatever, right? Another thing that's just like, oh my goodness, like something that real hoes never do, but so many bitches in the game do, and that's get drunk or high on display. You know, me myself, I don't have any dealings with drugs in my campaign. I mean, in my household, my operation, you know, not only in my campaign, but in my household, you know, people fucking with me, we don't have no type of drugs going on, right? Now, marijuana in moderation, alcohol in extreme moderation, but at work, nah, all of that's it's a no-go. You know, again, professional. I'm sending professionals out the door, you know, so when a professional is going out the door, she's going to work in a professional manner. So she's not on the track talking to tricks or in the casino talking to tricks, and she got a blunt in one hand and a fifth of Hennessy in the other and some fucking flip-flops on her feet and, you know, eyelashes that look like this. You know what I mean? Every time the bitch blink, these motherfucking eyelashes is bigger than her hands, and when she blink, they just, you know, a professional ain't going to work like that, right? But beyond the whole rest of the appearance, the main thing is a professional is not going to be smoking weed or, man, I done seen all kind of shit, man. I done seen bitches popping pills. I done seen bitches snorting powder. I done seen bitches, you know, getting reckless with the alcohol on the track and in the casino. Like, it's just crazy, you know, and they don't understand how they, you know, they make their chances of success next to impossible coming out like that. You did? So again, it's a thing that just makes, not only does it make you look distasteful, but it's also making you weak and vulnerable, because when you under the influence of these drugs and this alcohol, and again, you're allowing these things to master you as opposed to you being the master of it, you know, and it's controlling you, you making yourself weak and vulnerable to all the things in your environment when you at work as a hoe. So a professional ain't gonna do that. You did? A professional ain't trying to be weak and vulnerable, and she not trying to look tacky and cheap and broke, you know. Again, presentation. When a professional goes to work, she want to look like the top notch. She wants to appear to be the best, you know. So it's like a pair of Louboutins or a pair of, you know, Jimmy Choos or something like that. You know, it's gonna be, you're gonna see the quality in it. You're gonna see why it's expensive, right? As opposed to a pair of women's shoes at Walmart, you know, you're gonna be able to see the difference. So that professional, she's that pair of Louboutins, right? And that bitch with the motherfucking blunt in one hand and the Hennessy bottle in the other, or Mad Dog 2020 in the other hand, that's that pair of shoes at Walmart. You dig? So again, that's something that a professional ain't gonna never do, right? And lastly, another thing that a lot of bitches got real bad in the game, man, that a real hoe is never gonna do is just get mad at tricks because that trick ain't coming with ain't doing what the bitch want them to do. You know, a lot of bitches, you know, they don't have game. See, when you got game, you can sway a trick to have your way. That's what hoes do all day long. Real hoes, they come with all their weaponry and toolery to the track or to the carpet or whatever. When they come to work, when they got all their toolery and weaponry in order, you know, they use that to sway tricks all the time. You know, a lot of times it might be a situation where a trick go out and he want to do some tricking, and in his mind, he only gonna spend $60 or $80, you know, but once he come across this professional, you know, this piranha, she gonna sink her teeth in his motherfucking ass, and he gonna end up spending 10 times, 20 times what he thought he was gonna spend. Willingly, you know, willingly gonna give it up because he just understands that this is what has to be done. This is what I'm supposed to do right now. You know, that's what real hoes do. Real hoes just throw a trick all the way off track and get him to do things that he didn't even plan on doing. That's what real hoes do, right? But a lot of bitches don't have game. The majority of bitches in the game don't have game. Ain't that some shit? That shit don't even sound right to say, but it's the truth, right? So these bitches in the game that don't have game, when they can't hoe accordingly and get a trick to cooperate with them, 9 times out of 10, they letting a trick dictate the conversation. So when the trick dictating the conversation, he like, no, I only want to spend this. I only got this, yada, yada. A lot of these bitches, they get mad because they don't know anything else to do. So they get mad. Next thing you know, they cussing the trick out. They causing a scene. They being all dramatic on the track or in the casino or whatever, just being reckless with it, just looking tacky. And it's like, damn, bitch, why is you mad that he don't want to spend the money on you? And the cold part about it, I done seen this shit so many times with peoples of mine, but it'll be a situation where a trick will come around and talk to my peoples and this angry bitch that just cussed him out, she'll be like, nah, girl, don't deal with him. He cheap. He ain't trying to spend no money. Bitch jump in the car with that motherfucker, come back around, and she got, she done caught a decent date with him. Not the $60 that he was trying to give you, bitch. And the bitch would look like, be confused. It's like, yeah, bitch, she applied some motherfucking hoeing. You dig? So these are things that Hofessionals is not gonna do, right? Be on the motherfucking track with headphones on. You dig? Hofessionals ain't doing that. Be in their motherfucking phone the majority of the time that they down. Hofessionals ain't doing that. You know what I mean? Coming out the motherfucking house looking like whatever and expecting to have everything when they get down. Hofessionals ain't doing that. They not coming out the house looking like, what the fuck, I don't give a fuck, fuck. They ain't coming out the house looking like nothing with a fuck in it. You know what I mean? Except fucking up some commas. You dig? And another thing Hofessionals ain't doing, is being on the motherfucking track, getting drunk and high on display for everybody to see. Look at me, I got Hennessy. Look at me, I got weed. Look at me, I got the powder. Hofessionals ain't coming to work like that. You dig? And lastly, Hofessionals ain't arguing with tricks, cussing tricks out, getting tricks mad for whatever reason, but especially because they can't convince this trick to give them the amount that they would like to get. You dig? Hofessionals ain't doing that type of shit, man. Hofessionals is conducting themselves with class. They applying game and they're moving in an artful fashion. Like I said, it's just such a beautiful thing, man, to see a real hoe at work, you dig? But let that marinate on your mind one time. Freezes it, and as always, put some of this love shit in your motherfucking life, man. This shit gonna love you even when you don't love it, you dig? Cheers.
Now come and take a sip of this game. Pour it down your ear and let it drip to your brain so you can run it up. And we'll be coming up. Really coming up. Take a sip of this game, let it saturate your brain. Taylor make your homework so we can match it with my name. Then attach it to your frame, right? Now you game tight. You gon' check her back the same night. Now you breaking tricks and handling thousands. While these bitches on the blade doing the mannequin challenge. Standing there looking stupid cause they has no game to hit a trick with, bitch, and that's so lame. Now come and take a sip of